Pavel Durov's entanglement in France, his arrest, his subsequent release on a €5 million bail is a significant moment both for the man himself and for the platform he created for Telegram. And the charges against Durov, ranging from facilitating illegal content on Telegram to personal allegations, are complex and carry far-reaching there's far-reaching results, not only for the platform but also for the global discourse on the responsibilities that tech entrepreneurs have in moderating content. So the legal accusations against him primarily revolve around Telegram's alleged failure to curb illegal content, including extremist propaganda, child pornography, drug trafficking, fraud, and French authorities have criticised the platform for its near total absence of a response to their requests for cooperation, which has exacerbated the legal situation because, if convicted, Durov could face severe penalties, including a decade in prison and a substantial fine. From a legal perspective, these charges highlight the increased pressure on tech companies to monitor and to regulate the content shared on their platforms. And so what we see in France today is what is being threatened, I suppose, in the UK tomorrow. Telegram, which prides itself on providing a haven for free speech and privacy, is criticised for being too lenient in allowing harmful content to proliferate. And this case could set a precedent for how far governments will go in holding platforms accountable for their user-generated content. How far, indeed, the platform is able to interfere in that user-generated content, how private those conversations, those messages really are. For Telegram, the implications of Durov's arrest and the ongoing investigation, these are profound. Telegram has positioned itself as a privacy-centric alternative to other messaging apps, attracting millions of users who seek unmonitored communication. But this very characteristic has made it a magnet for illegal activity. The French authorities' intervention will lead, I suggest, to increased scrutiny and regulatory demands, not just in France, but globally. And Telegram already says that it will ban users who promote violence. But in practice, that doesn't seem to me the case. One of the key criticisms against Durov and Telegram is the apparent contradiction between promoting free speech and enabling harm. And while Durov's lawyer insists that Telegram complies with European regulations, the reality of its moderation policies is called into question. And without being able to see how these work, the default position is that Telegram is wrong. Well, that sort of suggests we're in a sort of Code Napoleon where you're presumed guilty until you can prove your innocence. If Telegram is forced to implement more rigorous and content monitoring policies, it will alienate its core user base, which values privacy and freedom from surveillance. And Durov's case, of course, is entirely entwined with political narratives. The Kremlin's warning against political persecution and its emphasis on Durov's Russian citizenship, which I believe is renounced, introduces an international dimension to this affair. The only reason Russia seems concerned is because it seems to be using Telegram as a platform of convenience in regulating its military affairs. It could be the case that it's seen as a way to exert influence or to protect one of its own prominent nationals, but it could also reflect broader tensions concerning internet governance, freedom of speech, or it could be as simple as the Durov affair is a plausible diversion for the Russian media from all the stuff going on in Ukraine. Or rather, not so much going on in Ukraine as going on in the Kursk region. Elon Musk's public support for Durov, accompanied by the hashtag #FreePavel, adds another layer of complexity because Musk's meme, which criticizes France's handling of the case, suggests that prominent figures in the tech industry view Durov's situation as emblematic of a broader struggle between state control and digital freedom. But this view again oversimplifies the issue, ignoring the legitimate concerns of governments and law enforcement about a platform's misuse. While the defense of free speech and privacy is crucial, the Durov case underscores the need for balance. Absolute freedom without responsibility is a recipe for the proliferation of harmful content, which poses a real risk to society and to individuals. Telegram's stance on minimal moderation, while ideologically appealing, is increasingly untenable in a world where digital platforms play such a central role in both private and public life. Durov's arrest and the subsequent legal battle will serve as a wake-up call for Telegram, but also for other platforms to reassess their moderation policies. We're moving heavily into a position of censorship, either self-censorship or censorship by countries, nations, or indeed the platforms themselves. Either we need to be more aware, or somebody is going to impose awareness on us. While maintaining privacy and freedom of expression, there need to be mechanisms to prevent any platform becoming a haven for illegal activity. And if we can't ensure that ourselves individually, then it is inevitable it will be imposed. The question is, who imposes it? The challenge lies in finding this balance without compromising any core values that have made, for example, Telegram popular, because Telegram won't be the only channel to promote ideas of privacy and libertarian expression. Durov's fate is far from decided, though my instinct is that it will be impossible to get change in a platform like Telegram if he is in prison. The implications for Telegram are already becoming clear. The platform needs to evolve to meet the growing demands for responsible content management, or it risks more severe consequences, not just in France, but globally. And Russia is now being urged, of course, to develop its own version of Telegram, which will then become the means of communication for the army. So Telegram will become redundant as a vehicle for military exchange of information. Therefore, it will lose a lot of traction in Russia because there will be an alternative. Or indeed, the Russian government will simply appropriate Telegram, as they did VKontakte. The outcome of this case will likely resonate far beyond Durov himself, influencing how digital platforms are regulated, how they are operated, how they progress in the years to come.